So, Memphis, Tennessee, April 3, 1968, you get some of the last images of Dr. King. What was that like? What did that feel like for you?
It felt different then than it feels now, because with the lens of history, I look back and I almost can't believe it. But at the time, it was just another day. Of course, now Dr. King would come around. I worked at Stax Records at the time. He would come around the offices or the studios on occasion, not hanging out all the time, but when he was in the area, he was friends with Al Bell, who was one of the prime people behind Stax and also producer extraordinaire of the Staple Singers and others. But they were friends from Washington in the early days. Al had been in the same civil rights movement. Dr. King would come around, and I would see him, and he didn't really know me like, "Hey, Terry," or anything like that, I guess, but he was used to seeing me, in the hallways or with Al or whatever. So it was another day of doing things, although that man in particular almost seemed to he had a radiating karma, almost a halo around his head that you could tell this is really somebody. So I knew that, but I didn't really realize how big and important a person he was and how historical it would be. That particular day, Al had called me and asked if I could use my first new car I had just gotten as a teenager, to go out to the airport in Memphis and pick up, not put Dr. King in my car and drive him, but, take some bags. They had a lot of people coming in and a lot of baggage. So I said, sure, and happened to be there as he came right off the plane in the concourse hallways, had my camera, so I took 13 photos that day. And then just a few hours later, he was killed. And that was the first death I had really been close to or been around up front. Oh, gosh, a person I just saw is dead. That was weird to me. So I put those in a box and did not get them out from 1968 until just a few months ago. Wow. And finally felt I could do it. And when they came in the photography shows, the exhibits that I do, people just, to be honest, they kind of freak out about it, but because they're very close, they're very personal. I wasn't using a telephoto lens or anything. I was just right up next to him, almost in his face with the camera, and you see an apprehension in him. You see stubble on his face. You see he got up early to catch the flight, and you can see it in his eyes, so much going on. But, yeah, I didn't see it like I see it now. Now it's amazing and historical to me, and then it was just, okay, doing another thing today.
Why did you keep it in a box for so long?
I didn't want to face it. I felt like it was almost sacrilegious to trot out pictures of this important. I felt bad about it. I don't know. I just couldn't see it. It's hard to describe it. But finally, Chris Klepper who was at MIT in their photography department, knew I had them, and he convinced me, get them out. It's really important, and it's good. It would honor him. So it really kind of changed my opinion, and I'm glad I got them out now, because it is good to see. It was historical. It was an important time.
Neon Jazz.